Okay, I think we are live now. Manish bhai, we are live now. Would you like to ask me with the? Let's wait for Nishit bhai to come online as well. Just give me a moment. Okay, so Nishit bhai, we are live now on both the cameras. Hopefully you can see me. Yeah. Okay, you want to start off with the first question, Nishit bhai?
I haven't seen a video live on the page.
Let's have a look at it. You got it?
Facebook ઉપર નથી live.
Oh.
Hold on. Okay, I can see it live. Yes.
Okay. So we are okay, ne? Both jagah.
Yep.
Manish bhai, you can see me as well. Manish bhai. Manish bhai. Manish bhai. Hello.
I'm here.
Yeah, you can see me live, ne? Both of you. Yeah. Okay. Let's go for the transmission. Nishit bhai, I'll ask you for the first question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, Jebhai, it's good to be on the broadcast for today and to be able to carry on our weekly conversations even through this new method of Zoom. So, a lot of people, of course, are disturbed by this issue of coronavirus. But then we have a big lockdown here with the government saying, please do not go out over the weekend even though the weather is really good. So what is it that we should not be doing during the lockdown?
Okay. First of all, you see, the situation is extremely worrying. There's no doubt whatsoever. It's worrying for everybody and it's global. And the lockdown is global as well. It's not just UK. The lockdown happens all over the world. So it is an issue that affects whole of humanity, not just one particular continent, one particular nation, one particular religion. It's very international. Now, the first thing that will happen, or is happening now, is panic. You see, fear is a very important aspect of all living things. And we all struggle with fear. The first thing that will happen is fear. So you want to lock down, hide in our house and be fearful. Oh, what's going to happen to us? So this is the first reaction, understandable. Now, the thing is this. Where does fear come from? Let us try and explore. So we can then, if you know exactly how fear comes, then you can in a way overcome it. So what is the origin of fear? You see, as I keep saying, we have gone through many lifetimes as animals and then enter the human kingdom. In the animal kingdom, the only way we could survive is to use fear to run away from danger. Otherwise, we would have died. So it was a necessary requirement for survival in the animal kingdom. So this fear is inbuilt in all living things, including human beings. Now, what happens is this: when you are, in the human kingdom, and we hear stuff like, this coronavirus affecting everybody, of course, we are very fearful, and the first reaction is to be fearful, run away from the virus and hide ourselves. And a lockdown, in a way, is a way of hiding ourselves. Now, how do we overcome this? The important thing is, in the animal kingdom, they did not have this thing called intellect. So they had to run and just be fearful and shudder. We in the human kingdom have got this extra faculty called rationality. So we have seen this kind of thing happen to us many a times in the past. And what we have to do is to basically try and use our rational faculty to understand the origin of fear and try and overcome it. This is the first requirement. We are human beings and we have this extra faculty. So we understand. Now we have seen a lot of similar disasters in the past in the human kingdom and we have overcome them. So this is, if you like, that should support us, that human beings are very powerful. We must have faith in ourselves that we will be able to overcome this particular virus just as we have done in the past. So have that kind of confidence in yourself so that the fear is then can reduced. That's the thing that we need to understand. We have this extra faculty, and the science that we possess now is highly developed. So they will find some resolution to how to fight this virus, how to put it at rest, how to use a vaccination to stop it spreading. So this will come. It will take its time, but it will come. That knowledge should keep us less fearful. Now, when we are fearful, various things happen which are very worrying. First thing is this. Some human beings, we notice this, will say, oh, I'm stuck in my home. I don't know how to live my life as a lonely person. So we saw in Canada, there was a big queue of people, outside the shop selling drugs, weed. And they said, we'll just get, we take this weed, smoke this weed in our house and whatever, sit, hunker down and stay in our homes. This is one way. Do I stop them? No. They are trying to address their own fear in their own way. Some people in the UK would just get drunk, just get in the house, get a lot of alcohol, get drunk and just live in a stupor. Look, who am I to say don't do that? They are trying to address their own fear in their own way, and we should allow for it rather than vilify anybody. So this is visible in the world that we live in. They just basically just get drunk and try and forget about the problem outside. This is one way to try and address the issue of fear. Others, so they kind of in a way focus on the lower aspects of humanity to just kind of go in a stupor and try and forget the problem. There are some other human beings who will say, look, this is the wrong way. Let us use a positive way. And suppose they are religiously oriented. Again, I'm not here to undermine anybody. They think the only way we can get faith in ourselves and the fact that we will survive this difficult period is to focus on ultimate reality called God or the super personalities. And by just praying to them, worshipping them, they will come to our aid and sort us out. Am I saying they're wrong? No. This is the only way they get some support in the difficult times. So we say, go ahead. You want to watch Ramayana and Mahabharata on TV and you feel comfortable, the gods and goddesses in the background, good for you. This is your way of addressing fear. So some people will get drunk and go in a stupor. Some will try and can engage themselves with singing bhajans, chanting mantras, focusing on the ideas of ultimate reality as gods and goddesses, looking at the stories on the video, on the TV, etc. Everybody will try and address the issue in the way that suits them. That is the magnanimous nature of our tradition. We say, yes, go for it, my friend. Hopefully that will in a way address your fear. So this is, if you like, how to address fear. Different people will use different ploys to address the fear. But one thing we must recognize is this. Fear can also lead us to take on drastically wrong steps. And there are some horrendous monsters on television who will say, do this, do this thing, this will soul you out, you drink this and listen to me, all these gurus, etc. And sometimes they waylay a lot of very gullible people who take on wrong steps thinking they have overcome their fear and they will not be attacked by this virus because they're following this guru or this particular teaching. Again, I say be very careful because due to fear, you might take on the drastic steps which will put your life in danger. So be very, you don't have to come and ask me. And in fact, I don't want to vilify any of these monsters on the television, but you can use your own common sense to think what they are saying. Does it sound right? If it doesn't sound right, don't agree with them. Don't play along. So you just simply say, even this person may sound sensible, I'd rather not listen to him because he's talking things which are not right. They're shoehorning meaning where it doesn't exist. So again, you have to be watchful regarding what particular prescription you want to adopt or how to lead your life in this fearful state. So this is the first thing I can warn. I say be aware of the serious limitation of some of these religious personalities in India who are giving you wrong information, and be aware of it. That's all. You decide. I'm not going to decide. I'm not going to point a finger and say this is the horrible thing. You decide, my friends. This is what you have to do. Manish Bhai, you have some questions for me? Manish Bhai?
Yes, sir. So what we can do to spend time, so people have a lot of time and they're not sure what to do. So what is your suggestion?
Okay, you see, whenever this kind of a major calamity occurs, it's of course producing tremendous fear and we have to try and fight this fear using various ploys, fair enough. But then what do you do? If you are forced to kind of spend time by yourself in isolation with your little small family and you can't interact with other human beings, what do you do? What method should you use? You see, there are various things that we already possess as human beings that we can invoke. This is the right time to invoke them. We all have some higher ideas, higher aspirations. Suppose you like music. This is a perfect time to develop your skills in music or just listen to music. Suppose you like art. This is a perfect time for you. Got the peace, you got the opportunity now to develop this skill in a way by focusing on this kind of higher ideals of human beings. Arts and music and dance and drama and all this, poetry, etc. You are engaging your mind to move away from fear into a more positive mode. So at the moment, music, art, dance, drama, whatever, use all these particular ploys to try and engage your mind so that you can take it off the fear that is kind of in a way possessing all of humanity. So this is one thing. Approach this idea take this opportunity to try and see if you can develop certain skills that you always wanted to do. Suppose you want to read some books. You got a perfect opportunity. Nobody will disturb you now. You don't have to go to work even, perhaps. So you can use this time, extra time, to develop the love that you have for reading certain books. This is the time to use this particular opportunity you have. So this is how you become more positive. But there are other issues, Nishit Bhai, have you got some other questions? I'm sure you got some serious questions, Nishit Bhai.
Yes. So the coronavirus issue has brought about one thing very clearly, that it is looking like the end of materialism. So
Correct.
what is the Hinduism take on this?
Yes, indeed. You see, this is a very interesting aspect to explore. There are two areas which have been shaken to its core, two areas being shaken to their core. First, you may be surprised to hear, you see, humanity was so fixated on a very commercial, materialistic worldview that they did not have time for higher aspiration. Just eat, drink, burp, eat more, drink more, go on cruises. Now, this little pesky little virus has really put a stop to it. It's not something that you got an option. It's full stop. You can't go on cruises, you can't go traveling, you can't go on plane, you can't go and meet your friends, you can't go to the clubs, pubs, nothing. All stopped. So all this material aspiration that humanity was strongly focused on for the last, 100 years, it was getting wound up more and more. We're getting more frenzied. So this highly frenzied lifestyle has been challenged to its core. It's been stopped, full stop. There's no option here for you that, okay, I can have a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You can't do it. Finish, full stop. And not only that, the economic world that we are going to face now, after this coronavirus is over, which may be perhaps a year, is a different world. Very likely, all the governments are at the moment. Look, I must pay a tribute to my Narendra Modi. This is a wonderful leader. Look, I must mention this. Wonderful leader, highly disciplined. You see, he's taking on very difficult control of the country, saying isolation, lockdown. For this huge country with 1.3 billion people to say lockdown is not a joke. He doesn't just say lockdown. He says, I'm going to open up the government coffers to give you money, food, everything, all the support you require so you don't starve. At the same time, please hunker down. Lockdown simply to make sure you survive. See, this is a man who gives more importance to survival of our people than, say, the American president who is more interested in the economic issue. Well, let's hang on and let's see if we can carry on. So you can see the difference between, say, the leader of India and the leader of the United States. Big difference. The leader of USA is focusing on the economic issue. The leader of India is focusing on human life. And he's prepared to give up all his money. He's prepared to, you can see also wonderful people like Tata giving up huge sums of money for to fight this virus, etc., and help humanity. So it brings out the best in our country, in our nation, and our aspiration. And it also shows, say, USA in a very poor light. You see, the economic issue is the reason why they were hanging on and not putting in a lockdown. But now they're doing it, they're forced to do it, but they were hanging on because the economy would be disturbed. See, the money was their option. Sorry, I'm digressing, but so the world that we are going to face after this, in fact, hopefully, we hope. You see, again, my faith is not in a God. My faith is in human beings. I keep repeating. This comes from Vivekananda. This idea of focusing on a God, clapping and singing and all that, he's not going to come down. Dhanvantari is not going to come down with a serum saying, okay, I sort you out. We have to sort ourselves out. Who says this? This man here. He's been telling Hindus for 100 years, stand on your own feet and sort yourself out rather than focusing on a God in heaven. But when I say this, Hindus say, no, Mr. Lakhani, they can't budge. They are stuck. But this is the message that we have to now embrace, saying that, look, we have to have faith in humanity to solve this very serious issue that we face. And the way we do it, we've got a wonderful, huge number of scientists working day and night to see how they can fight this virus, how they can find a way to demolish it or try and reduce its effect and try and find a resolution to it or have produce a vaccination. So I have faith in that. Rather than have faith in any other field, this is the place where you should put your faith in. We have fought other diseases in the past as well, and we will fight this one as well. The only thing is this is not a minor blip. This is going to be a long-drawn battle that humanity faces. So this is not going to go away immediately. So it may take 6 months, 9 months, even a year before we have a vaccination, before we can fight back. Until that time, the economy would have been destroyed, dramatically destroyed. So the world that we face after the coronavirus is going to a world of depression. I'm not an economist, but I can see it coming. How can all the governments keep pushing money into the system, giving to people free of charge, and there is no development, nothing? Somebody has to pay for it at some stage. And this will come about as serious unemployment, lack of money, etc. in the system, and depression. I'm sorry, not recession, depression. We are facing that at the moment. Is all the clear. I'm not an economist, but I can see that coming. So the materialistic vision we had regarding how we lead our lives, kind of continue to eat, drink, be merry, and enjoy, and keep go in this merry-go-round and go faster and faster. This is going to be in a way chopped off straight away. So even after the coronavirus, the world that we face will not allow us to continue this kind of highly frenzied materialistic lifestyle, guaranteed. So, you know what I'm saying, Nishita, what I'm suggesting, this is my personal approach. I am suggesting this challenge that we face can be turned into an opportunity. You say, what opportunity? It's like, it's horrible. Opportunity is this. We can refocus the attention of humanity from a highly commercial, materialistic vision to a more spiritually oriented vision, saying, look, live within your means, forget about all this high flying stuff, live in a very simple, use a very simple lifestyle, but have higher aspiration. So get your enjoyment not by chasing after things and drinking and eating and getting drunk. Try and fulfill your try and fulfill your ambition, which are more simply or simplistic, and also aspiring to a more spiritual dimension rather than a materialistic dimension. So this pesky little virus is going to force whole of humanity to give up highly materialistic stance and adopt a spiritual stance, not because of because of him or because of me, Mr. Lakhani. The virus, this pesky little thing, is forcing all of humanity to rethink. A major paradigm shift is in the making. The paradigm shift is very serious. This kind of focus on materialism as the resolution to humanity, no more. So where do we look? What do we latch on to? Something which is essentially non-materialistic, which allows you to lead a simple life, yet aspire to higher aspiration rather than material aspiration. So this is on the cards. In fact, Nishit, I must say this, one thing that Hindu Academy is trying to do is this. We are trying to produce serious material on the internet, which is now going to focus on, if you like, spiritual aspiration of humanity. And we are calling this series of talks we are recording, hopefully with serious celebrities from all over the world. I mean, I'm trying to catch hold of Sachin Tendulkar. Produce a kind of debate, a discussion with some major celebrities around the world, talking about this change of paradigm. This idea of focusing on materialism has come to an end. So where do we look? Where do we go? So kind of interaction with serious, kind of interesting scientists. There's one particular scientist called Tart in USA who is in agreement with me to try and focus on spiritual dimension. So a discussion regarding how we switch human aspiration from a material world to a more spiritual world is on the cards. And we as Hindu Academy are going to produce series of videos talking about end of materialism. That is on the cards, and we are putting in a lot of effort to try and engage the right celebrities to interact with me using internet. Unfortunately, we can't meet face to face anymore, and try and produce some kind of discussion regarding how the shift from highly materialistic vision can be taken to highly spiritual vision. And this is not with the compliments of Vivekananda or me, it's with the compliment of this pesky little thing that's really rattling the whole world, dramatically rattling the whole world, especially the materialistic world is being rattled to its core. So we are turning this serious challenge into an opportunity to try and refocus attention on a spiritual dimension. I will ask
That is going to be a very exciting discussion, I'm sure. A lot of viewers will be looking forward to
materialize it. Yeah, Nishita, I'm telling the viewers as well, if you are aware of any personalities in India or worldwide who can participate in this process, we are not deliberately looking for this kind of high-flying pop musicians or artists, because they can hardly relate to what I'm talking about. We're talking of clear thinkers, in the science field, in the field of academics, etc., who will try and participate in such a discussion. I mean, I'm planning to take the head of philosophy from Eton College to kind of do a discussion with me on this particular theme, and he's very, he's agreeable to this, what is happening. So this is a major transition taking place. So it's a nasty kind of thing that's happening in the name of this virus, but in a way it will redraw the attention of humanity to a spiritual dimension rather than a highly materialistic frenzied lifestyle that has come to an end with the compliments of this horrible monster. Anything else, Nishibhai?
During times of crisis, people look up to their leaders to provide clear, compassionate, and concise leadership. Now, I know a lot of people look up to you for your leadership in this field. So, how would you communicate with your audience in that sense? Do you have any words of wisdom for them?
Yes, indeed. Look, what we are doing is this. We are using this social media to, in a way, participate and interact with greater humanity. And we are succeeding in our own little way. We are doing quite well. Now, because of this crisis, more people are going to be tuning onto our videos because they think that we are talking something sensible and which is agreeable to their own thinking. So we are now going to, in a way, prompt a lot more people to participate in the work that we are doing in promoting the idea of end of materialism. It's not to vilify materialism, but to recognize the role and relevance and limitation of materialism. So this is what we are going to talk about, and hopefully this will engage a lot of interesting people, a lot of thinkers, clear thinkers, Eastern and Western, who will participate in the process. So the world, in a way, by the way, this is not something that can happen because of my ability as a leader. This is going to happen with the compliments of this nasty little virus. We are forced to think in that way. There's no choice in the matter. So it is going to happen because of there is no other choice. We have to focus on something which is not materialistic anymore, and the only answer is spiritual. And this is what we are going to label as end of materialism. And there is somebody called Professor Charles Start in USA. People like that will participate with me and the head of philosophy at Eton, etc. So we will try and promote this idea using, and I'm trying to catch hold of Sachin Tandulkar, because if he participates in this process, I think our videos will get 1 million hits in 1 minute, and I'm hoping that will happen. So we're doing our best, and it doesn't matter with the grace of whatever the ultimate reality. Hopefully, something positive will come out of this crisis. But I'm very grateful for your confidence in me as a leader. I'm not a leader. He's the leader. I'm just a little rattling thing, a thing that is kind of rattling in his image. Manish
I
Bhai?
hand over to Manish Bhai.
Okay, Manish Bhai, your turn, sir.
Yes, sir. We got a question from Hemant Susana. He's saying, what do you think about today's education system in India, sir?
Oh.
And what is Swami Vivekananda's opinion on this?
Okay.
And can we address this situation?
Indeed, it was a good question to address. The reason is this. You see, we have been talking for the last God knows how many years, telling Narendra Modi's government to make sure Hinduism gets back into the education system in India. It was taken out after independence. It was vilified, taken out of the system, saying Hinduism is negative. So Hinduism had been taken out of the education system in India. A nation that had been weaned on Hinduism for thousands of years were told you can't educate your children about Hinduism. And that was with the compliments of the past government. Fortunately, that's changing now. So we've been telling Modi's government in our own way to say, please reintroduce Hinduism into the school education system. Simple, commonsensical thing. You are a Hindu nation. Why are you shy to mention it, or why are you shy to teach it? I can teach it in UK. Why can't you teach it in India? So we have been pushing it. And there is all sorts of political issues saying we need 2/3 majority in the parliament, lower house of parliament, etc. So we can't get it done, blah, blah, blah. Now, this pesky little virus has come to our aid. You may be surprised to hear me say that. This pesky little virus is going to allow us to do the following. This is what we are planning to do. This is just the first, if you like, introduction to this idea that we are presenting on the video. We have been talking to Cambridge University Board. Now, Cambridge University Board has got a very structured syllabus teaching Hinduism. So we have been using it in UK to teach Hinduism to our own youngsters here. So we said now is a wonderful opportunity to make this an international enterprise. So we are now planning, we have already talked to Cambridge, they've got examination centers throughout the world. Major cities in the world have Cambridge University acceptable examination centers. So what we are planning to do is to run a course on Hinduism. It's called IGCSE Hinduism, International GCSE in Hinduism. It's a recognized course certified by Cambridge University saying this is proper Hinduism taught. And they will mark it, not me, they will mark it and give marks. So we are planning to, in a way, launch this series of IGCSE Hinduism course on internet. And what we will do is very simple. First, we will ask those who want to learn Hinduism, whether in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, East Africa, USA, Canada, India, to register with us so that we know who is participating. And we will make sure we'll use all these major magical tricks that we have got with Nishit Bhai's help, Zoom and all that, to try and do a systematic 20-minute clip every day teaching Hinduism, and this will go worldwide. And those who are participating will of course get notes as well, and we may even test them using the internet. And this can be an e-course, e-learning course. So we are going to start this very quickly because we don't want to wait. This is the opportunity for us to now plug Hinduism, structured education in Hinduism worldwide. So we are going to now catch hold of young or old, whichever part of the world you are, male or female, doesn't matter. If you want to study Hinduism and get a certified course from Cambridge University with a certificate from Cambridge Board saying, yes, you studied it, you got a high grade, you are now in a position to participate in the process. So what we are not able to do with Indian government, we are able to now do with this pesky virus. So we're going to promote this course. It will go international. We will have thousands. I'm pretty sure we'll have thousands of participants. We'll try and produce records saying who is studying in New York, who is studying in Canada, who is studying in Mumbai, and we'll start producing this kind of 20-minute clips teaching Hinduism in a structured, sensible manner, which has been lacking. The Hindu youngsters in India have very poor understanding of their own religion. Some of the questions we get are so frightening. We say, are they serious? They have no knowledge of their tradition. They just kind of nonsense they're picked up here, there, and everywhere. So we tidy up the image of Hinduism. We present very structured, sensible, rational, contemporary vision of Hinduism, which is comprehensive, not sectarian, which will now enter the system worldwide. With the compliments again of this nasty little fellow called pesky coronavirus. So this is what we are. So two things we are trying to do is end of materialism series and IGCS in Hinduism being prompted shortly, very quickly. So we will start asking our viewers to start participating, start emailing us saying they want to participate, and we'll produce a list of them so they get the clips on a regular basis. So we won't start the course, we'll start within a short time because we want to take advantage of this lull that we have where people are stuck in their homes. So let's use this particular period for not just being positive and learning music and art, but actually doing a proper structured study of their tradition in this particular opportunity moment. Manish bhai, anything else you want to ask?
Yes, sir. Someone was saying, people are being depressed and locked up and, losing their loved ones. So, they are feeling low. There is people losing jobs, they have less money, and the hunger is growing. So, what to do in that situation? And Paul Elliott was saying, use humor as times of crisis and keep your spirit up. So, what is your take on that?
Okay, first of all, look, humor is not a minor thing. In fact, I've been saying this again and again. A person who talks about spirituality without a sense of humor shows that he has not understood the importance of spirituality. Spirituality comes with humor. Because the world that we face has no reason or rhyme to it. The only way we can continue to live is to take on humor, to kind of survive. So humor is the best way for us to have a kind of let off of the serious issues that we face on a day-to-day basis. Let me touch on one. I got a clip of somebody. They say because of the lockdown, the police, and this it's not true I suspect, but anyway, it's funny. He said because of lockdown in UK, the police have reported the last 2 weeks, the number of murders, 0. Numbers of robberies, 0. Numbers of fight between husband and wife, 831. Because now the wife and husband have to live with each other and they irritate each other. They were loving, we love each other, and singing and dancing all the love songs. And suddenly, because they are now confined and two of them have to live with each other, they start irritating each other. So this is the way you bring in humor. But the thing is, look, humor is a very powerful tool. Animals don't have it. We have this power to recognize our own limitation and the ridiculous world that we live in. And humor is the only way we can address it. Saying, see, people slip down. You see, the body topples over. So humor is the best way to address the serious distress we face. So I would agree. Humor must be invoked in not being stupid or kind of ugly humor, but sensible humor should be invoked in this situation. The other thing you mentioned is this. Look, a lot of people, I know I get emails all this saying that, suppose there's a cremation. What procedure should we follow as a Hindu for coronavirus? You follow the prescription that is offered by the National Health Service in here or in other part of the world. This is a very infectious disease. So you must follow the prescription regarding how to make sure that in the process of cremation, etc., you do not spread the virus. So you must follow the government guidelines. It is a very distressing situation because with this particular nasty virus, you can't even see the face of the person you lost. And this is a sad situation, very difficult situation. And I've got nothing but, my heart bleeds for this kind of people who are struggling. God help us. There are so many. Forget about people in London or UK. People in India, I shudder. Who is there to, at least thankfully we've got such a wonderful leader at the moment. He's saying, I'll open up the government coffers to make sure everybody is well fed. Even if the government will go bankrupt later on, but we're going to feed everybody now. And we're going to still lock them down so that they don't spread the virus and, get murdered, get killed by this virus. So We have this difficult situation. The only good thing is, look, the human beings, the thing that here is very powerful. It has faced many disasters, many difficult issues in the past. Have faith in humanity. I keep saying this. And I said this to Doordarshan in India. You've been showing this lovely, colorful Mahabharata, Ramayana. Good for you, nothing wrong. It has been holding our hand for thousands of years. It will definitely calm down people who are struggling with the virus. At the same time, I say, look, there is an ancient vision of Hinduism. This is the modern vision of Hinduism. Why don't you promote this? Put forth hours every day of Ramayana, Mahabharata happily, and let people sing and get courage. But at least give this guy half an hour every day. It will charge up India because it will tell them to become empowered themselves rather than focus on just gods to sort them out. So this empowerment that comes from him has yet not been embraced by India. But it will be embraced by the rest of the world in no time, because when we talk about this idea of end of materialism, the material that will pop up now to kind of hold the hand of humanity, to make it move forward, is going to be the material that comes from him. Another interesting kind of side effect, if I can use the word, is this. Suddenly we are finding the religious communities are coming together very fast now, because they're facing the same common, enemy. So they're becoming very friendly with each other. Oh, let's do something together. So I'm beginning to get those kind of emails saying, let's work together, Mr. Lakhani, Hinduism and Christianity. So I said, yes, we are ready for it. So in a way, it is forcing a religious community that were exclusively saying, we alone are right, all of you are going to hell. They have to now abandon this idea, say we are all in the same boat. Either we all go to heaven or hell, but never mind, stop kind of vilify each other. So in a way, this thing is going to bring humanity together. Another interesting thing is London is this. We find a lot of neighbors who have never looked at each other, talked to each other, now talking to each other over the fence, mind you, with little distance. So they are now beginning to feel at one with greater humanity. So this, in a way, one of the side effects is that human beings are coming together because of the serious danger faced by all of us. This is the commonality that's bringing humanity together. And I'm hoping the religious traditions will, in a way, be jolted so much, they will come together, they have no choice. So the thing that he was promoting, pluralism, many ways to be spiritual, suddenly become the way you come out of materialism to spirituality. Not just in one religion, this religion. The idea of moving away from this kind of highly, exclusive agenda will come about naturally because of the difficulties we face at the moment. Nishit Bhai, I'm sure you got some pointed questions to throw in my face, please. And your Googlies, by the way. And I want Googlies to come from Sachin Tendulkar in days to come.
We have from Deep Satish on Facebook.
Yes.
Saying, do you think that re-establishing the Varna system in today's Hindu society can help the Hindus raise again to its glory?
Look, in one time of history, we are an evolving religion. Even our social structure keeps evolving. We are allowed to do that. Other religions don't. We encourage evolution. We had taken on this Varna system at one time in the past. It had a very positive thing, saying it keeps everybody in line. It focuses the attention of everybody. You are this. There's a place for everybody, and everybody has a place in society. So it was kind of very structured way of living. But do you think this is going to solve the problem of coronavirus or after coronavirus world? No. To the contrary, now this idea of division is going to be demolished now. This little pesky thing has made sure this division that you have been watching on, you are American, you are Indian, all this is going to be demolished. Forget about the Varna system. The international sin that is now becoming visible will allow humanity to come together in no uncertain terms. There is no question of which color of skin and which religion you belong to. We are all human in the same problem, with the same problems. We are being brought together by this pesky little virus. So Varna ashram is dead, it's gone, we have passed it. It was useful at some stage in history. It is not going to come back at all. Hopefully not. It's this nasty thing. We turn into an atrocity in the name of religion. I take some more questions. Manish Bhai, from you.
Yes, sir. Venkat said how meditate for a long time in such a period.
Okay, look, the situation is very individual. When you are rattled, as we are all rattled, now I'm rattled as well, I think, God, what's going to happen outside? So when we are rattled, it is sometimes very difficult to close your eyes and think of higher things. It is difficult. But there are some people who have already been trained over many years. They have been meditating on a regular basis. So this is the perfect time for them to even increase the intensity of meditation. It will certainly help. Because the thing is, it is now telling us, outside world I can't be bothered with. I'm thinking this is waste of time. I must focus on my inner world. And this in a way will pressurize them to meditate in a more intense manner. And of course I wish them well. Meditation is a wonderful way of rising above all issues, including the issues of our physical health and the disaster we face in the outside world. Nishit Bhai, any more questions from you, sir?
Well, you're Googling.
Go for it.
So, does God have a God?
Does God have a God? Well, philosophers have been challenging this. You see, all philosophers have been challenging all world religions, saying that, look, the religions say, haven't you noticed everything must have a cause? You know, everything, certain things happen because there's a cause. Like the coronavirus, that little pesky thing, that's the cause. There's a cause for everything. Fine. They'll say everything in the world that we encounter has a cause. We say, okay, there's a causal relation. So they say, in that case, we are simply suggesting that the cause of this universe, the whole universe, there must be a cause, and that cause we call God. And sounds, wow, clever, yeah, universe itself can't just come about, there must be cause. And maybe that cause is called God. Sounds sensible, doesn't it? But do you think the philosophers are going to tolerate this thing? No way. They say exactly what you just asked. They say, you said everything must have a cause? We say, yeah. Then they say, we want to ask you, who is the cause of God? As you said, who is God's God? Who is the cause of God? Tell us. Who is God's mummy? In simple English. And the religious people don't know what to do. So they give waffle. You can't have infinite cause and all that. There must be some first cause. So this is a cop-out. So in one state, they want to say everything must have a cause. But say, with God, no, don't ask for a cause. So that if you say, who is God's God? God is in trouble. You see, this idea of a personalized religion, thinking of ultimate reality as a super personality, comes with this baggage. It is difficult to answer this question. It is only the principle-oriented Hinduism that stands the serious challenge of philosophy. But we'll talk about it some other time. Let's carry on with our discussion about coronavirus. Manish Bhai, you got something else?
Not on coronavirus, but there's a question from Mal Anders. He's asking, are linga and stupa related? So stupa is a Buddhist thing, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. You see, I'm very cautious about talking about people of other religions, especially even other Indian religions like Buddhism, Jainism and Sikhism. I'm very cautious because I may step into territory where I'm not that familiar. So rather than do injustice to another religion, I'd rather not get involved. But we know for sure as follows. You see, it is at the end of Buddhism, they said that Buddha doesn't believe in idolatry and all these imageries and so on, and yet the Buddhists had to have some kind of imagery, some kind of icon to latch on to, so they created stupas. So in the say to focus on, say, the truth of Buddha, etc., they build a huge stupa, etc. So this in a way started because human beings require some iconography, some physicality to their very floaty spiritual ideas. So even Buddhism doesn't talk about God, etc. They turn Buddha into indirectly through the stupas, etc., kind of to promote the idea of their tradition. That's all I can say. Nishit Bhai, anything from you, sir?
I'm just checking through the questions. If Manish Bhai put anything else while I check.
Naresh Bhai, opportunity for you to ask something more.
We got a very interesting question from Third Eye Vision. He's saying, does law of karma apply to community or a nation? Or is it applicable only to humans?
Okay. It is applicable to everything in a very intricate manner and not in this oversimplistic manner. In fact, in the last session we did, I made a big fuss about not blaming the law of karma for what we are facing at the moment. As a community or as an individual. Law of karma is, look, this lots of things combine together to produce certain results. This is all, it's an observation of the world that we live in, that things are connected. Objects and events are strongly intertwined. That's the right word, not even connected, intertwined. There's a kind of positive feedback, negative feedback, they're intertwined. So that's all we recognize. This is called the law of karma. Cause and effect, it is applicable to every object and every event. Strongly intertwined, that's all we say. Now, the unfortunate part is we give it oversimplistic interpretation that creates hell for us. So when you see somebody disabled, you say, oh, in the past life must have done something bad. That's utter rubbish. The law of karma doesn't teach stuff like this. It simply says lots of things gang together and produce a result. Now maybe this person was a lovely fellow in the past life, but in this life, while the embryo was being formed, they had a disease, the mother had a disease, and this particular embryo was deformed. Does it mean his law of karma was catching up, he's a nasty fellow? No. Lots of other things gang up which are beyond his control and dictate his future. This is the mature idea. The Hindus have lost it. They give oversimplistic idea. So please do not blame the law of karma on individuals, or on communities, or on society. Simply observation of the world that we live in. Things are intertwined. And your own contribution to what happens may be very minuscule. So don't blame yourself and be fatalistic. I deserve it. Law of karma catching up. That's why I'm getting corona. This is the world that we live in is intertwined. And law of karma is not something kind of waiting, say, okay, I take revenge on you. There's no such thing. So grow out of it. This is the few things that the Hindus kind of focus on, which I dislike thoroughly. They'll either focus on law of karma, saying, as they can't find an answer why we have this disaster, they say law of karma. It's not true. Nothing to do with that. How does this pesky virus that can escape China has anything to do with law of karma? Secondly, they say, we'll focus on the astrological charts. You say after 100 astrologers, there is one astrologer who will say, okay, and this in 2020 there will be a disaster. He just said it, by chance it happens. So we see astrology, but 99 others who didn't say that, they ignore it. So astrology is not an exact science. Do not fall back on astrology to resolve the issue of coronavirus. Do not fall back on the idea of law of karma to resolve the human problem. The only thing we are telling is humanity is very strong. And the thing that's underpinning all of us, which is now visible to the scientific community, they will fight this coronavirus and put it to rest. That's the faith we must have, and not on gods and goddesses of law of karma or astrology. We must grow up. We don't. We like to be stodgy. In fact, when I was making a critical comment saying, look, this Doordarshan is showing Ramayana, Mahabharata, that's fine, but why don't they show a modern vision of Hinduism? Somebody said, Mr. Lakhani, have you watched the Ramayana, Mahabharata? Have you studied it? I used to recite it myself when I was a young boy. So I'm fully aware, but I'm also aware that we have to move on, we have to evolve. But Hindus, no, we can't evolve. We have to stick and sing bhajan and kathas. And then you sit there. And your youngsters will move away from you. But the world is moving very fast and you cannot hold them down. Nishit Bhai, any questions from you, sir?
Yep. So, David, we know that in today's time, faced with a common threat, if there is more oneness amongst humanity than ever before. We all know that being in a certain caste gives you your sense of culture, and being in a certain religious sect gives you your identity and a set of values, etc. However, the question for you today is that, seeing that we are all very much the same in the face of a common threat like coronavirus, do you think the world would be a better place if caste and religion cease to exist?
You see, it is, Nishit Bhai, it's going to happen without us prompting it. It's already happening, big time. You see, I'm already observing people kind of coming together from different backgrounds, happily trying to support each other. So this particular common enemy is bringing humanity together indirectly, in a big way. And so this idea of trying to kind of say, oh, we are Christian and we are kind of spared by this virus, or we are this and that, that is demolished. No person with simple common sense will tolerate that kind of argument. So it is already being demolished, not by me or Vivekanand, but by this little pesky fellow saying, okay, you better work together. So it's happening. And this will be a very positive thing. Another thing that we must say is this. In a way, just as we see nasty things happening, like people kind of hoarding goods to try and make more money in this crisis, we also have people, philanthropic people, who come out of their shells and show their true humanity by trying to do something philanthropic for the greater world. We see, Narendra Modi's mother giving 25,000 rupees, her savings. See, this make you smile. This is the important thing. Humanity shows itself in a crisis as well. Just as we have some nasty piece of religious personalities, we also have some marvelous personalities. Like, I love this Tata family. Look at them. Philanthropic to the core. We gave them shelter, and now they are repaying India in no uncertain term, big time. So when we see people like that, we feel that we have love for humanity, and this faith in humanity should not be undermined. So in the difficult times, humanity does come together big time, and this is happening at the moment in the United Kingdom. The moment the government said we want volunteers, and 500,000 volunteers stood up straight away. They say bring back the NHS staff, they came back straight away. Start off a new hospital within 10 days, they got it done. This shows the philanthropic nature of humanity. We have to pay tribute to it and bow down saying, wonderful, wonderful, you are showing the real spirit. You are the spirit. Prepare to look after each other rather than yourself. So that's a positive side. Yes, sir. I'll take some more questions from either of you, sir. Sorry, we are all kind of joined up like this through the internet. Manish.
Sir, we got an interesting question from Planetary Citizen. He's saying, I met a man in the 70s who was a musician and devoted to Saraswati. He believed the Hindu idea was that she might come and play her music to the body of a devotee. What's your take on this?
Very positive. You see, just as humor or music, etc., are very powerful things that human beings possess. Animals don't have it. We have these powerful tools at in our possession, which we can use in order for us to kind of, in a way, address the serious challenge we face. And music is a very powerful tool. Even now, look, if you want to settle your mind, if you listen to lovely music, whether it's in the name of Saraswati or any of the gods or goddesses of any religion, if it's, settles your mind, gives you a rest and gives you support, surely that's a very positive thing. Any of us don't have it. We have the intellect, we have the music, the art, the dance, the drama, music, poetry, literature. Use all of them to the full. This is, if you like, our special inheritance as a human being. We must take full advantage of all this in difficult times like this. They should buy some words of wisdom from you, sir.
We are at about 45 minutes into the broadcast.
Okay.
I am not having any question at the moment on Facebook.
I think we have sorted everybody's problems out straight away. Coronavirus or no virus. Okay, thank you, sir. Manish Bhai, any more questions from your side, sir?
We have one question from Suman Pratap Singh. He's saying, do people attain nirvana when they are alive and moksha can only be attained after death?
Okay, I give you my answer. See this fellow here? He attained nirvana, moksha while he was alive and working away like nobody's business. He had so many illnesses, but he never showed any sign of this illness and carried on working for the greater good until the last day of his life. He was teaching grammar the last day of his life. So there are people like this who are a clear example of how people, while they're alive, attain moksha, attain the highest state, spiritual enlightenment, and still continue to interact with greater society. So it is possible to gain moksha and still continue to be active in society and do something positive for society. I think we should finish with that. What do you think, guys?
Yes,
I don't have any more questions.
Okay, we should finish with that. Look, friends, I'm telling you, the viewers, I'm telling you, the two things we are launching, one is called End of Materialism, that we hope you will promote and you will participate in the process of helping us out. And second is this education Hinduism. It's a wonderful opportunity to learn, take this advantage of this free time to learn your own tradition in a structured manner, because this is what is going to hold your hand after the coronavirus. And because you will no longer be able to attach. Look, at the moment this, somebody told me that the world appears sushka, is a Sanskrit word. Sushka means worthless. The whole thing appears worthless. All your money, all your family, everything appears kind of pointless. So the world is now, in a way, this virus has taught us a lesson. We need to rethink. A new paradigm is in the making. And in this process, education in your own wonderful tradition is a wonderful thing to latch on to, hang on to, and develop. And these are the two things we're going to promote in the days to come. Thank you, my friends. We'll finish today.